Hello roomies, here we are then, crafting with Sue again. I've got the silicone mat down, so it's resin time, UV resin. I've got 3 pendants here, 2 of which I've already put the base layer in. I'm just going to do the base layer for this one to show you how I do it, and we'll move right along with other jobs. And no, I'm not wearing gloves because I left them downstairs and I forgot. So I'm just going to be super careful not to get any resin on my hands. So first of all, we need to put a layer on the bottom, making it nice and even coverage. I use these little micro brushes just to help push the resin up against the sides, making contact and also making a good seal. And it also removes any of the bubbles that might be lingering on the side. What I also do to help is I use an extended flame and I just pop the bubbles that might be sitting on the top. Simple as that. For fast curing, because it's such a skinny layer, I use a UV torch. And I just put it over there for a few seconds. It doesn't need a long time, it's just putting the layer on the top, making it all nice and hard, because these are already a little bit sticky, but they're cured. Alright, so he will actually be cured right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these semi-precious stone chips. I have some big ones and some little ones. So I'm going to start off by just grabbing a little handful and dropping them in. They're all mixed colours, I haven't got a clue what I'm putting in there, so it is what it is. Using cocktail stick then, I'll just move these around and level them off if I can get unstuck. Now bearing in mind that, you know, these are going to be raised, they're going to be higher than the edge of your pendant bezel, no, whatever it's called, you know what I mean. I don't know what I'm talking about because I'm just ad-libbing. But going to drop these in so that you can see the stones and see how pretty they are. I'm going to do this with all of them. Just get them to sit down nicely so they're not all majorly stacked, but they are in there. And this one hasn't got very many in. So I'll just grab another couple to go in there. Moving it down. Yeah. So what you could do then is just grab a little pinch and fill in some of the holes where there might be a few deficits, because these are tiny little pieces and they're going to fill up where the other bits haven't gone in. A little bit on the fiddly side because they are small, but just take your time, don't rush. It's not going anywhere. After all, crafting is supposed to be nice and relaxing. Have a little look, see how it's all fitting in there. I think I've got one in between. Yeah, I thought I had. So we can go in there. So I'm just basically filling in the holes that are in between the stones that I've got here already, just by adding a few of these little ones in, just so that you've got no majorly big gaps. Having gaps in your pendant look would, I don't know, doesn't look too good. There you go. So I'm just going to use the torch just to help me see if I've missed anywhere, and I have. So I'll get another piece. So missed some on this edge. There you go. Perfect. Check again, because there are some black that looks like shadows. Use your cocktail stick, as I say, just to move things around so that you get good coverage. And if you've missed anything, just go back and add to. Don't add your top coat resin until you are absolutely happy that things are how you want them to look. I'll just move those out of the way. So now I'm going to get the top coat resin, and we're going to go really, really slowly. I start at the top and I just let it pour real slow, and I go around the edges, pouring really, really slow, because this resin is going to drop below the stones, so you've got to give it a chance to sink down. Don't be in a rush to do this. Slow, slow, and then fill in the middle. You are going to have some stones that are going to raise, well, not raise, but they're going to be proud of the stones here. Now what you can do, because if you go and do the others and you're going to be working slowly, this resin could just settle itself, break its dome, and end up spilling over, and that's something that you don't want. So once you've got it to its level, give it a quick flash cure just to seal it in place. While I'm doing this, the UV resin I'm using is by Diction, I should say, and it's high viscosity UV resin, and basically it domes really, really well, and it's perfect for doing projects like this. But as I said, some of the stones will be proud of your dome, but that's the beauty of doing this semi-precious stone casting. So I'm going to move on to the next one. Slowly as he goes. Double check that you've got all the coverage that you want. Lacking a bit on this corner. Once that's done, this isn't completely dry, by the way. All you're doing is flash curing the top to stop it from running over the bezel, because you don't want a mess and you don't want a big pool, and you don't have to mess about with scraping away and sanding down, and because you could potentially ruin your project that way. And moving on to the next one. Alright, just move that stone around because he's stuck to the resin as I moved. Nice and slow. Filling in, covering the stones that are there, going right up to the edge, but not over. Nicely And it's nicely domed and you've got the coverage that you want. Do a quick flash cure just to stop it running when you move it. And then, oops, I'm going to run this to the back, and then I'm going to put the UV light on it. Over here I have a few bezels that I've actually completed. Which I'd like to show you. So this is some shell. I think if I get a bit of colour white paper, you'll see it better. So you have the shell there. It's beautiful, even on the other side because it's clear. Looks absolutely stunning. And the same for heart shape, but there's more gaps in this one. As you can see, there's a lot more gapping. And then I've done some seed beads in the clear resin. It's quite effective because there are air bubbles in there, and I really don't care about the air bubbles because it just adds drama to the piece. And then there's some silver, red, and like a purple colour seed bead as well. Let's move that to there. What I've also done is I've made some buttons with some hieroglyphic colour changing glitter, and I painted the centre of the buttons so I've got definition. But what I've done with some of these, rather than make buttons to wear on your clothing, I've made them into pendants. So this has got a little pendant that's been attached to the back. So that is now going to be a pendant. And the smaller buttons I've made into earrings. If I move all that along, you can see the earrings there. And there's another pendant there that I've joined the buttons together. Also with making pendants, I've actually nearly lost the lot on the floor. I would have cried. But I've also been putting the pendant veil onto sea glass. So this is one chunk of beautiful sea glass that has it's stunning. I just love sea glass. So that's another pendant that I've been making. I've also made another one which is part of the set. And on here there's a little mermaid. It's not very easy to see and I don't have a super duper camera, so basically there's a little gold mermaid on there, and then some more sea glass put onto the back of earring backs to make some more earrings. Now this one is, I went through my sea glass collection and I thought, wow, when I was sticking some of it together, I was shining it on some of the glass in the bin, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's uranium glass. It's reactive to UV light. So I stuck the glass together and I made this pendant. But when you shine UV on it, it actually glows yellow. Let's see if I can show you. If I turn off the backlight, it's really hard to show you. It actually glows yellow. Oh, really depressing that I can't show you because it's so pretty. Yeah, but it trust me, it glows a lime yellow, where you can just see it over here. Glows yellow. If I take that away, it just looks clear. See, completely clear. And then when I shine on there, it picks up the UV and it glows yellow. So yeah, so that was quite a nice find, I thought. So anyway, how do I join the glass to the pendant? Very, very simple. I'll get a piece of glass now. Have a look. A nice little rounded beach glass. And then I will decide then what shape I want to take out. So I've got a round piece of glass, so I'm going to use a round piece to attach the resin to. So put that away. So all I do is get the resin. I just need to move these because I've got to put this back on. They're still cooking. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a blob of resin onto the back of the, whatchamacallit, I'm going to turn it upside down. And I'm going to stick it to the bit of sea glass, and then I'm going to flash cure it. Just flash curing. And then I can, it's already stuck, but I'm going to turn it round and cure it from the other side. So I've actually turned it, flipped it round. And then what I do then is I look at it to see, well, okay, so there's a little bit more resin can go down in the back there to secure it, because it's a flat surface going on to a porous surface even. Just gonna flash cure this again. Turn it round. Just need a little tad more on this side. Use your stick, if you mini paintbrush, if you get some on your piece of jewellery, and fire that one off. Okay, so that's not going to be going anywhere. Let's move these out of the way a second. So I'm going to pop that under there to cure with the rest. I've been putting these on for 2 minutes at a time while I'm talking, purely because I want them to be solid by the time I reach them. Now here's one I did yesterday, and it's a black glitter background, not that you can see it glittering, but it is. And then I've put in some dried flowers. So I'm just going to take it off the tape. It should be cured because it's been under the UV light quite a bit today. But because I've taken the tape off, it's quite dry, so we're lucky. So there we have, let's get the card again. There we have some really pretty pretty flowers. You've got some white ones and purple ones and red ones, just making a really nice display there. So that is what I've been making with my UV resin. So when they're actually completed, I'm either making my key rings. That one's got like the cogs and what have you in, or I've been using the pendants to make necklaces. There's one there that's got the semi-precious stones like the one I've just made. I've got one that's picked out a blue stone out of the semi-precious. I've got one here that is just the like the Dalmatian spotty stone one, and then I've got this one here which is tiger's eye, which is absolutely beautiful. I love the way that catches the light. And then there's another one with the semi-precious stones in. These sell really well, so hence why I've got a few of them. And that's what's going to happen with these beauties. They're going to be made into necklaces. Big ones, these ones with the seed beads, they may just become key rings or whatever. I haven't decided yet. But there we are. That concludes today's video on crafting with resin. Hope you enjoyed. Please come back and see me again. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Your support is awesome. And see you again at some point. Toodle pip for now.